this video, I'm going to show you 6 easy steps on how to create your own personal affirmations from your subconscious mind. This video is for you if you have been using affirmations and feeling like they're not resonating, they don't stick with you, they kind of feel a bit wishy-washy. It's like there's so much distance between you and a thing that you desire. So I'm going to help you in this video to demolish that and create a system where you dive into your subconscious mind and create an affirmation to release the limited belief that you're holding that is stopping you or creating that resistance from feeling good with your affirmations and truly believing in them and believing that you can have them. Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and welcome to Sacred Creators. It's an honor to have you here. On this channel, we discuss everything spirituality, esoteric, manifestation, positive mindset, and other stuff as well that comes up. Before I start the video, I've got some exciting news that I have started to do one-to-one coaching and DM coaching. If you ever feel the need to have coaching from me, I will leave the link down below. Coaching for me and being in a coaching program had been very helpful for me in a certain time of my life where I was spiraling. I didn't have any kind of tools or know what my next moves were or have any kind of belief in myself. And also just the sense of having somebody there that is there with my best interest at heart and want to see me win, and just having that extra support. So because of my experience of coaching, it's my honor to offer it to you. The link is down below. Check it out if you feel curious or feel the call. I've also started a Patreon membership called Sacred Creators Membership, which is available now. And within this membership, I make extra videos. I also do meditations. I have a theme for the month. And there's also a community for all of us together to share and learn and grow together. I'll also be having monthly live calls and Q&As. That will be a really great experience and some other amazing bonuses. It's been my dream to create a membership like this, to have like-minded people like you to share our experiences with. I will leave the link down below for the membership as well, which is on Patreon, so check it out. Back to the video. So, like I said, I'm going to show you 6 easy steps on how to create your own affirmations from your subconscious mind. So just bringing it back, the reason why we want to dig into the subconscious mind is that we know from esoteric knowledge and also from highly credited metaphysicians and also physicians of this modern day and age, like Bruce Lipton, Joe Dispenza and Neville Goddard and the Kabbalion, for example, as an esoteric text. It explains how the importance of the subconscious mind is, and in modern day science and in some ancient scripts, we can translate this understanding to the subconscious mind being about 10% of your mind and the subconscious being about 90%. So let's say you have an idea about something. I want to build a house, I want to live in India. And then that's 10%. And then the 90% is you processing that and kind of going through your memory on like, okay, I don't have a memory on how to do that. So I don't think that we can. So we're not going to do that. So it's all about just kind of retraining your subconscious mind, which we know about, which we can do in many different ways, including meditation, including subliminals. But right now we're going to stay active and do this subliminal deep dive within our affirmation. I'm going to show you just right now. So you need to get the notes up on your phone or a pen and paper, or it's really important, I think, to take notes on this one, or you can go back in the video if you're just listening like casually. We want to write down the things that we want. It's so important for us to create realizations to the things that we want by writing them down, so that we become aware of the desires that are within us and the dreams that are within us, and we make sure that we are actually experiencing them and having a positive attitude towards experiencing the things that you want. So the first step to creating a affirmation or affirmations that are personal to you and from your subconscious. It's just to make a list of the things that you want generally. So it can be like, I want a house, I want a car, I want financial freedom, I want a new bathroom, I want a relationship, I want to have a good relationship with my family. Just make it super general. List as many things as you want to. Maybe you just have one thing, up to you, but just create that list so we can start getting into motion with this. Now, the second thing that we want to do is be more specific. So let's say one of your things was that or one of my things, let's say, is that I want to travel more. So in order to build upon it, I'm going to write things like, I want to travel to Morocco. I would like to go to the Atlas Mountains. I would love to ride a camel across the desert. I would like to go to the beach. I want to be, just elaborate a bit more, making sure that you're using your full imagination and not trying to think about what you think is possible or what you could afford or what you could do within the time frame that you've created that you would make this trip or have this experience. Just open your mind, be free in your mind, and this is the time where you can be without limits. And for some of you, it might feel strange because it's not how we're used to thinking on a day-to-day basis, but this is a practice. Treat this as a ritual. This is the part of you in this time of the day where you get to feel free and take the lid off. It's really important in the second step that you start this phase from a blank state or a neutral state, or within the state that you are actually there. So in your imagination, you're deep in your imagination and you can really feel the sense that you're there and you're not going from the past and bringing the past into the future. So what I mean by that is, let's say I do want to go on vacation to Morocco and I'm creating a list of things that I want from that experience based on the experience that I've had previously, which undesirable things happened, or I want to make an upgrade from there. Just treat this as a completely fresh, new idea without comparison from your other experiences, because this is how the brain kind of tries to make sense of everything, and then you have the risk of creating some kind of limitation from yourself or bringing the past in, so we don't create a clear energy to what we want. We're kind of moving backwards a little bit. So we just want to create something from a clean slate in the direction that we're going to without looking at the past, if that makes any sense. I have also had this habit where I am creating new things from the past, which is how I used to learning, but we're kind of want to break away from that and we understand that everything that we want is already being created and is already here. It's just about getting on that frequency. And when we drag things from the past, we confuse the energy. So we just want to arrive on the frequency. We want to arrive in this new dimension and this new reality where what we want to experience is actually happening. So the third thing we want to do to create affirmations from our subconscious mind is write down, now that we have the general, number one, the general things that we want. Number two, an expansion of maybe in this practice, just one of the things that you want, going further and being a bit more specific. And now the third thing that we want to do is write down, why do I think this can't happen for me? Why do I believe that this is impossible to get? Why do I feel such resistance towards having this thing? And the most important thing is to go deep in your heart and be completely honest with yourself about why you think you can't have it, or that it is impossible, or that is beyond your reach. Really dig deep here and don't be afraid to write down things you're not sure about. Maybe you don't know where it's come from. Just write them down. This exercise is also about your intuition, and I'm always an advocate of building that muscle of just trusting what comes up and then taking a look at it a little bit later and see what resonates with you the most. So we write down why we think that we can't have it and be as truthful as you can. and just kind of like draw everything out, making sure that everything has come out, and read what you've written. It's really important, even though it might be hard to read, like, whoa, this is what is within me. This is what is deep within me, like an iceberg, it's really deep within me. It's not something that I'm thinking all the time, but there is something about me in my energy that feels that. And not in a way to kind of discredit it, but to really be there and see that side of you, and see the wounded kind of part of you that needs to heal and needs to be seen and cared for and understood. So this part of the practice is actually, I feel like, is the most important. And actually this one coming up as well. So number 4 is, when was the first time that I felt like this? It could be in your childhood, it could be in your teens, it could be in your adulthood, it could be a situation that has happened quite recently over the past few years. Whatever it is, just tune into that energy of number 3, where you had felt that it was not possible for you, and see where that energy takes you to. Where was the first time you had a memory or an experience that felt like this? The first time I felt like this. So for example, if I put for number 3, why I think that it's not going to happen for me, or that I can't have it in terms of travel. So I think that it's not going to happen for me because I don't know if I'm going to have the time. I don't think that I have the money to go to, or to stay in the places that I really want to. I'm not sure what my partner is doing. Maybe he doesn't want to go, or maybe he's not really into it, and just kind of all of the reasons why. And when was the first time I felt like this? So maybe the first time I felt like I um couldn't do something that I really wanted to, or didn't have the resources to do what I wanted to, was maybe from my childhood, when I didn't have my access to my own money, or anything for me to do anything. So I was always in the care of my parents. So if I asked them for something and they said no because they couldn't afford it, or they didn't have time, or whatever, I would just have to succumb to it because I didn't have a choice. So that was just an example. It could be anything for you, but just kind of like, even if you're not sure where it came from, just write down what has come up, a feeling. Maybe you can't identify it as, oh, it was definitely from my childhood, it was definitely from here. You're going to feel something bubble up inside of you. So just hang in there and express what it is, because it might not belong to a time period, because as we know, time is not linear. So it could just be a feeling that you've been carrying along with you, if that makes any sense. So now we've written the feeling of the first time that we felt this happen. This is also, I just want to add, a really good practice, what I have been doing over the years, to when I feel triggered about certain things. It takes practice to build the muscle, but when I feel triggered about certain things, I understand now that this trigger is from a feeling that I've had before, and is tapping into that time period, that specific moment when I felt that. So to identify as much as I can, where have I felt this before? When was the first time I felt like this? And usually it's got nothing to do with the actual situation. It's just got to do with a fear of abandonment or failure or not feeling loved, and just kind of like addressing that. So in this practice, we're addressing our subconscious, we're addressing our limited beliefs, we're addressing the wounding, we're addressing the part of us that needs to be healed, for us to create a foundation so that we can move forward with our life elegantly, with ease and flow. Number 5, what kind of advice would your higher self give you? In regards to your answer for number 4, when was the first time you felt like this? Okay, I felt like this when I was a child and this happened to me, or I felt that I wasn't being heard or seen, or I didn't have control over the situation. So what would your higher self say to that? And by your higher self, I mean obviously the highest version of you, your guides, your angels maybe, or God, whoever it is, or maybe it's a family friend, or someone that that loves and cares for you deeply, that has your best interest at heart. What advice would they give to you in response to your answer from a higher self, from a higher vision, you know, that nurturing part of you that is within you that is able to give yourself higher advice. Tap into that. And maybe you need to get quiet for this. Maybe you really need to just kind of like breathe. Maybe you just need to just relax and have a moment in silence to really tap into that higher part of you. And like I've been saying, don't doubt what comes up. It might feel silly. You might feel like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Trust that you know what you're doing. We all have these codes within us. This is part of our spiritual life, is that we are able to get guidance when we ask for it. So please trust in this and try out this exercise. So maybe what comes up is mostly it's just about feeling safe, like in whatever it is that we've experienced that we feel a distance between, or feel like it's not possible for us, is that we are not feeling safe in a moment. So it could be like, it's okay for me to feel like this, and it is safe for me to have whatever it is that I desire and to speak out loud what I want. It is safe for me to, you know, like just tap into that part of you, that nurturing part of you that tells you that, hey, this is okay, you know, like whatever it is that you're high. I don't want to feed lines into you, but just whatever comes up is what is best, what is the medicine for you personally. And this is how we penetrate deeper into our subconscious. The wisdom is literally coming from within, and also the medicine for this to elevate in a lot faster and a lot easier and a lot more nourishing for us. Like when I've done this practice, it has felt so nourishing to me. It felt like, this is me. This is what I need to heal. This is how I want to be parented. Which takes me actually to the bonus one. So that's number 6. So number 7 is this is exercises just kind of like also tapping into reparenting yourself, and or maybe if you didn't have parents when you were growing up, it could be your caregivers or your environment or whatever it is. And it's just kind of like reshaping that whole narrative, because even though we are fully adults, we're still kind of like under the rules of our parents or our environment or however we grew up from those early years. And part of this path is just kind of like releasing those narratives and creating a narrative for ourselves, which we know serves us. So on this path, we understand that we are powerful, we are part of God, and God is part of us, and we can say whatever we want for our highest good, and we have innate gifts inside of us. But as we have grown up, we haven't been told this information, and so a lot of it kind of seems like logical and hard to kind of resonate with. Like we kind of understand like, okay, I get this, but I've been taught something else. So this whole journey is about kind of closing the gap between what you have been taught and the actual truth about who you are. And doing this kind of practice will bring you closer to the truth of who you are, nourish that part of you in the past who wasn't fully in their power, wasn't fully aware, wasn't fully in resonance with who their God being, and just create a platform for you to feel safe in that and give yourself, have the tools to give yourself the real knowledge and the real advice that you need to move forward and to attain the beautiful things that you want, because you can have them and they're not bad and it's beautiful. I think that is it for this video. So just to recap, number 1 is write down what you generally want. Number 2 is to be specific about it. Number 3 is to write down why do you think that it is not possible for you to have this, whatever it is that you want. And number 4 is to discover when the first time it was that you felt this or you experienced this feeling. Number 5 is, what would your higher self or a trusted friend or family or God or your angels or your guides, what would they say to you in this moment? And number 7 was just a kind of advice, like keep tapping into yourself and the soul that you know that you are, and making sure that as much as possible that you are talking to yourself basically and being in alignment, like the things that you were taught about who you are and how life is to what you're discovering now. Maybe there's a lot of discrepancies, and creating affirmations just to kind of like, the way that I have been creating affirmations, nothing wrong with them and they do work, but I just want to go a bit deeper and kind of like want things to feel a bit more clear and nourishing towards my inner growth, as well as just kind of like getting what I want. Also, just making sure that I'm creating a great foundation for myself and I feel good. Doing this practice to get closer to what you want and affirm what you want and for them to happen, but also to make sure that you're nourishing that side of you and you're showing yourself that you really deserve exactly what it is that you want to bring into fruition and experience in life. Thank you for watching this video. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that you're here to listen to my transmission. I love you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.